Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dobson777a here. I thought I'd go ahead and fit in a live stream, not a live screen, a live stream for Friday night because I've seen a lot of activity on the precious metals. And I just poked at the miners and they've been working their way back, so they're doing pretty well. There's some other news, as I put in the heading, that makes this very interesting. We know that China's preparing, a digital yuan, but also there's still a question: is there going to be a gold-backed yuan? They purchased billions in bullion again. They were kind of like slowing down, I think, last year, but now it looks like they've allocated a bunch of money to go off and buy a bunch more gold. Got something flying around here. I think I got it that time. There's little fast boogers. Then the other thing is we heard about India considering banning cryptocurrencies, but now Turkey's gone into the fray. I'm telling you, this is something they don't like competition. These countries do not like competition against their currencies. So I think you're going to see more and more countries jumping in on the bandwagon here. So we'll see what happens, but I kind of predicted this. I think at some point there's going to be closing in the gap. Now we kind of closed out the week with gold at 1777, and then silver was just shy of $26, $25.96. And I started looking at some of the numbers. So over the last 5 days, silver's up 2.93%, gold is 1.9%, and platinum's up 0.33. When I look at year to date, platinum is up 8.28, silver is down 5.68, and gold is down 8.92. That's really interesting to see gold actually underperforming silver on the downside, because normally you see silver being extremely volatile. Silver liners here. Sorry, I was off on the other page looking at some of this stuff so I could report it to you. Edgewater Heating. Mr. Action 1. Let me read off some of these miners, because I don't know how many of you have been paying attention, but Sabine-Stillwater year to date, it's like 29.43%. That's amazing, 29%. I mean, we're not even halfway through the year. This is going to be a banner year for that. Wonder what my SBSW is doing, because I've been holding that a while. See if I can find it on the list here. Oh, there it is. I'm up over 80% on mine. Let's see. We got First Majestic is up 23.42 for the year. Royal Gold is up 10.35. Franco-Nevada is 9.35 for the year. Sand is up 7%. MMX is up slightly more than 7%. Those are kind of the notables. The improved portfolio is up 1.63 for the year, and our ETF portfolio is down 3.41 for the year so far. Another interesting thing, and I mentioned this before, the residential real estate ETF, that's up 15.71% for the year, folks. That is doing fantastic, and that's, again, remember, I have a very large part of my portfolio is in residential real estate. I'm not using the ETF. I have physical holdings of that. But I'm sitting here looking at some of this, and it's doing great. How long has gold been this price? I was actually going to do some charts today, but let's look at the year. Let's go to 5 years. I want to turn off some of these other ones because it's a little noisy. There we go. We've been actually banging sideways here for about 3 months. Let me see what the chart looks like. Yeah, actually since March, we've been sitting at, the last time we were at 1759. We actually broke through the the last March peak, and we're actually moving up to roughly February now. So we're starting to break out, it looks like, of this sideways trend that we've had on gold. Yeah, that actually would be a nice chart to show. So it looks like we're starting to get a breakout here that everybody's been waiting for. Snowy Rocky Mountains. Let me tell you something. The weather here has been fantastic. Today it was in the 60s, and my onions are starting to grow like crazy. So I've been trying to keep the water on them because this is where the bulbing time comes. By the end of May, I'll be starting to harvest about half the onions. And I think by the time the longest day, maybe middle of June or something, a few more weeks later, I'll be harvesting the rest of them. But I've got hundreds of onions that I'm going to be pulling out. I already planted my pole beans. I planted my cucumbers. I planted some yellow squash zucchini and cantaloupe. Tomorrow, weather permitting, I'm planning on planting my corn and some of the like spaghetti squash and other things on this lower field that I haven't shown you a video of it, but it was one I developed last year. So I'm trying to get that one ready and planted. That lower field is fantastic. All my blueberries are looking fantastic. Oh, and I've got 72 sweet potato plants I got to put in the ground tomorrow. So I'm going to have a busy day. I picked up a bunch more cow manure for planting. So between China and India, they're purchasing 90% of the gold coming out of the ground. And I believe it. Again, the best opportunity to buy this stuff was back in 2018 when nobody was buying it, but it's going to be kind of slim pickings now. Take what you can get. I was looking at platinum. Man, I'll tell you, you got to spend $1,400 an ounce for platinum now. That's a lot of money. Somebody was trying to sell 100 ounces of platinum. So that'd be like 5 tubes. Holy crap. It was a lot of money. What is it? $140,000 or something. That's what everybody should have. You should always have $140,000 of platinum laying around. Sure was much nicer buying it when it was $700 an ounce or whatever. Platinum's up like 12% for the year so far. This is such a weird format where I'm just kind of talking and reading what you guys have instead of talking to someone else. I really need to set up some interviews with some of our fans, get them on. We'll just have like I need to get, I don't know what you call it, teleconference type, or where we can actually Zoom meeting, probably a Zoom meeting. I probably could record a Zoom meeting and do that. That would be fun. So what are you guys doing on this wonderful Friday night? I mean, we've been running AC for probably the last week or so. It's getting hot here. Got all kinds of marigolds in the ground. Oh, my roses are beautiful. I'm going to have to start showing some pictures. My azaleas are in full bloom. They're gorgeous. I've been keeping everything fertilized. I just need Mother Nature rain. Maple platinum. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, there's actually an article on Zero Hedge. This has been talking about this a long time. And they're talking about in 2018, Chinese launched a gold-backed yuan-denominated oil futures contract. These contracts were priced in yuan but convertible to gold, raising the prospect that the rise of petro-yuan could be the death blow for the dollar. 2 weeks ago, the IMF reported that the global share of the U.S. dollar-denominated exchange reserves dropped to 59% in the fourth quarter, according to the IMF's data released today. This matched a 25-year low of 1995. China became the first major economy to unleash a central bank digital currency. We talked about that. cementing its trailblazer status in virtual currencies far ahead of other countries, after already recently experimenting with large-scale trials of actual payments by customers, which was met with mixed results. It says the People's Bank of China, which is the nation's central bank, controls how much gold enters China through a system of quotas given to commercial banks. It usually allows enough metal in to satisfy local demand, but sometimes restricts the flow. In recent weeks, it's given permission for large amounts of bullion to enter, the sources said. We had no quotas for a while, but we're now getting them, the most since 2019. Around 150 tons of gold worth $8.5 billion is likely to be shipped. Two of the sources said the bullion will be shipped in April. The other said it will reach China around April and May. I'm not going to read this whole article, but this is some significant dollars flowing into precious metals. So even if these prices, the central banks are still buyers. So if they're still buyers, why aren't we, right? I hate chasing a trend though, so we'll see. Silverliner just got back from on the road. Corolla is in the house. Yeah, I saw an article this week that I kind of scanned. JT coin rings. Yeah, it's kind of silver. You got to remember, a lot of these big corporations that use silver, they have to buy this stuff, and they probably have to stockpile it somewhat to be able to handle their manufacturing needs. So I don't know if they use futures or what they do, but I'm sure they hedge silver prices for their manufacturing. But just remember, silver is a very high percentage of industrial, so 70% or so. But we reported in the last live stream that a lot of these miners, or a few of them anyways, so we're starting to hear that are talking about they're just not selling it right now because they think the price is depressed and they're going to hold on, and they're almost acting like a cartel, and they'll artificially raise the price up and then start selling into it. So we'll see. Mr. Action's got the right idea. Smash the like button. I've been trying to keep up with the garden, keep it weeded and everything. It's just spend an hour each day. Today I was watering the whole side yard and then the front garden because I wasn't sure we were really going to get some rain tomorrow. That I tell you, the weather has been kind of interesting. They'll if you look a week ahead, certain days you're going to have rain, and so I try to schedule all my plantings just before the rain comes, and then I start looking as I get closer. It just sometimes just disappears, and that's what it looks like it's going to be tomorrow. But it's been very cool, which is nice, so you don't need to use as much water. But I got to finish up my last little planting, and then I'm kind of done planting for the year. Although we are kind of growing a bunch of flowers now. So I've got some more seeds. You got to really pay attention what you're planting, because some of the seeds you have to soak them, like okra. I think I've talked to you before. You can't just put them into these trays and with the covers, because they actually require immersion in water. And so some of the flower seeds I had, same thing. You got to immerse them in water for a day or two. You'll start seeing the shell crack, and then you can go ahead and put it in the soil and keep the soil damp and on my little heat mat, which gets the thing started. This is my second year growing everything from seeds, so it's quite rewarding. Yeah, so the corn rings last year, of course, I went through some personal problems last year, but I did eat some corn from the garden, but I did not keep up with the garden like I am this year. So I think I'm going to have much better luck. So I'm going to plant a crap load of corn and probably less squash and beans and stuff than I did last year, and focus on trying to keep it watered, just like the fruit trees. The fruit trees look fantastic this year, and we'll see how it works out. But I ate some corn. The corn was actually good, but corn needs a lot of water. I enjoy getting the rototiller out and doing some of this stuff. I mean, it's so different than what I did, working as an engineer. I love learning new things. So what are you guys doing? How many of you guys actually got your gardens going? Yeah, this mass shooting stuff is ridiculous. I think we've always had. I was reading an article about the mass shootings, and I think we always have them. It's just when the Republicans are in office and they know that there's not any chance for pushing anything through, the media just does not use it to lead their newscasts. So when the Democrats are in office, then it's front page because they're tied to this crap. I will tell you this. What is the numbers? Anybody know how many people we have on the earth? World population, is it 8 billion yet? What's world population?
According to Wikipedia, in demographics, the world population is the total number of humans currently.
All right, 7.8 billion. Sometimes that's a year or two behind, but realistically, we're not really short on people. I don't want to sound cold-hearted, but you lose about 8 people here and there. That's really not big news. Now, you lose an airplane where there's 300-400 people on a plane, something like that, then that might be news. But it's like people, you have a hard time understanding the fact that how many people die in car wrecks in the U.S. every year. Let me do that. How many people die in car wrecks every year in the U.S.?
38,000 people, okay, according to Association for Safe International.
So anyways, we're worried about a few shootings. We're not banning cars yet. 38,000 people die in car wrecks every year, right? That's incredible when you think about it. 38,000 people. That's way beyond the pale of any of this other stuff. So it's all about perspective when you think about it. Now, you'll notice that there's always these attacks at what they call the soft targets. If everybody was required to carry a gun, folks, we're not going to have this kind of stuff going on. People will be a lot more polite when they see a gun strapped on your hip. So the media doesn't ever show perspective because it's all, I don't know, what do you call it? They're trying to push an agenda. So it's propaganda. But just throw that at everybody. 38,000 people die every year. If you break that down like every week and every day, let's do that. 38,000 divided by 365. So that's 104 people every day dying in car wrecks. And yet we're worried about 8 people shot up at a FedEx, okay? So again, perspective. It's hard to get excited. I guess I wouldn't work at a place that you can't be protected. Yeah, the Georgia guides. Remember, governments don't like people with guns because they can't do all the stuff they want to do because they know there's some folks that are going to potentially fight against it. How many of you guys have mortgages on your homes? I just had my mortgage sold to another company. I hate this because I set up this automatic payment thing. And now I got to go figure out how to change that over to the other place. And I'm sitting there going, why can't they just leave it alone? Years ago, you'd have the same mortgage company forever. Now it's like every 3 years, it seems like my mortgage is getting changed to somebody else. And I've got a new mortgage company called Mr. Cooper. Anybody heard of that? That's like the craziest thing I ever heard of. But apparently it's a big company. Never heard of it myself. I want to get this stuff paid off. I'm tired of paying this stuff. Tell you what, if we get gold up to 25,000, I'll probably sell some gold and pay all my mortgages off. I think it'd be great to be debt free. All right, where's the questions? We got 26 people watching, 13 thumbs up. This is your time. It's your time to ask questions. This is going to be a short show tonight, so probably only got about 10 minutes left. I'm not going to do the, hey, JT Coin Rings, you made any interesting rings lately? I still want to get with you, man, but this personal thing, I think I'm just about over with this thing, so it's going to be an interesting story. I've been watching Justified. There's that damn thing again. Did I get it? I don't know where I got this moth from. Got to kill that thing. Probably think I'm crazy. You guys see that thing flying around? It's not me imagining it. You have had 3 different companies in 18 months. I think these mortgage companies, they're supposed to hold like a percentage on of like probably per regulations that you have to have so many, we'll say A, B, C, D, E type mortgages. Some are, probably a very small percentage of the riskier kind. And obviously, so you build the pyramid, so they have like the best mortgages at the bottom. And maybe if things get out of kilter, they got to do some horse trading between other companies. I'm not sure how that works, but I've noticed mine keeps getting flipped around for this, that, or the other. You're working on some new projects, JT Coin Rings. I tell you, you ought to watch that. It's very fascinating the way they make these rings. Yeah. Yay, everybody's here. I think I finally got that booger. I don't see any evidence of it, but oh yeah, there he is. I got him. I wonder what that was. It's just a moth of some kind. He's atom dust now. I was in and out several times today while I was doing the watering out there. Been keeping the lawn off. The lawn looks awesome. I have to do some videos. I've really keeping up with everything this year. I just got to work on my office now. This thing is a freaking mess. Papers everywhere. Taxes. You guys do your taxes. You got an extension extra month this year, right? I got to sit down and do my damn taxes. I know I got to write a big check this year. It's probably why I'm not doing it. I guess, did everybody get their stimulus checks? I think most of them should have been out by now. I think the last ones were people that were on Social Security or disability or something. Those had not gotten out yet. But did you get yours yet? Let me know. You guys are being quiet here. Oh, no stimulus. Yeah, look, folks, they can only fudge the number so long. We know we've had inflation. Holy crap, just certain factors. I mean, look at what gas prices did. They've added easily $1 since the election. And then we know the lumber prices. We know, food is ridiculous. Been eating a lot of eggs. My chickens are still producing a lot of eggs. I should have some chicks hatching any day now. I was down there looking at them, the dates on them. And if I did it right, these things should be coming out in the next day or so, the first groups. And then, I've got some like every day that'll be hatching. So tinfoil hat, have you used the website to see if you've got anything holding it up, or are you just not going to get a stimulus? Yeah, food. I'm going to tell you, that's one of the reasons why I love my gardening. I see how much I spend in the wintertime when I'm buying, the yellow squash, zucchini, all the vegetables that normally I grow during the summer, and I can see how much I spend. So it's fantastic. Oh, you don't qualify? It's fantastic when you can get it right out of the garden. It's just you got to kind of, I mean, unfortunately, you got to be out there every day on some of this stuff. I mean, I don't know if any of you ever grew okra, but okra is like an everyday thing you got to pick. Green beans, basically every day. Even cucumbers, that might be every 2 or 3 days. But man, next you know, you got a pile of stuff that you got to eat or can or both. Keeps you busy. I need to find like an older couple that would be interested in like helping maintain this stuff. I love it. But I'm planning on doing a lot of traveling, so I need someone to kind of come in here and maintain this stuff, slap some water on there. Oh, yeah, I planted my green beans too. I'm waiting for them to come out of the ground. When they go, man, they go quick. I have a basement. Hey, JT Coin Rings, take it easy. I'm only going to be on here a few more minutes, but I have a basement and I can store certain things like, potatoes, sweet potatoes, that kind of thing. Some of the squashes and things, they'll store a little while, but um, most of this I'm just going to try to harvest and eat, as real time as possible. But uh, many of these things, they don't keep that long unless you can. So like green beans and pole beans and stuff like that, I'll can them. Cucumbers, you can make pickles. I got a great bread and butter pickle recipe. Of course, it's just kind of out of a bag, but it's super easy. So I do about a case of those at a time. They're super good. I actually planted a whole bunch of grape trees last year, or I don't know if they call them trees, but I did not keep up with the watering on them, and I think I lost them all. The only things, and so that's kind of tells me what I really should grow. The things that seem to do are more hardy are like the blackberries, the blueberries, raspberries, and I've got peach, pear, plum, miniature trees that I planted. And of course, the onions, I seem to do really well with those, and the tomatoes and peppers and stuff. Even my asparagus is all coming up like crazy. I'll have to do a video of those. I was out there fertilizing and weeding that and watering today. I got to start harvesting some of those. But no, the grapes, I wasn't able to keep them alive. Gets to be a bit much. That's why it'd be good to have a neighbor that we could, not everybody has the same taste. And so then you can kind of barter back and forth. Oh man, plywood is astronomically high. It's ridiculously high. I am so glad that I got all my stuff done over the last, what is it, 8 years since I started buying these rental properties and houses. I got it all done before all this stuff exploded. If you wait, a couple years, they'll all catch up. In fact, they're all probably going to overproduce because that's what's going to happen. Right now, we have shortages. So then they're going to work on the supply chain and ramp it all up, and then they'll overproduce, and then you'll have a crash in prices. What growing zone do you live in? North Georgia is, I thought it was in the 7B or something. Off the top of my head, I don't know if you can quote me on that, but we've had fantastic weather. We had a couple days in the 30s. When was that? I'll have to go back and look. I think it was early April, but now it's just been fantastic weather. Yeah, the prices have been jumping since October tremendously for construction materials, and I don't know how some of these construction companies are making it because you probably take the money for building a house, and it takes months to kind of get everything planned and then scheduled. And then by the time you order your materials, all of a sudden the material costs have doubled. It's like, well, how do you do that? Now, that's one of the things on one of the houses. I have a full basement and I studied it out, did the electrical and everything. And all I got to do is drywall. And I don't think drywall's gone through the roof here, but I've got a guy that claims he can get all the drywall in the world, but in the basement, you kind of want to use a special drywall, or you're going to have to coat it with something. So I'll probably over the next year try to get that done. Then you got to do drop ceiling. I got to put a tub in there, a bathroom, all that stuff, a mini kitchen. Oh crap! You're going to spend $50,000-$60,000 on that in a heartbeat. It'll look nice though. Yeah, green board. That's the name of it. If you're going to do it right. Don't take shortcuts. The other thing I typically do is I will put this Roxul insulation in the I don't know what you call it. It's like rafters. That's not really what it's called for the flooring above. I put that Roxul insulation because it's a sound deadening material. It's fairly expensive, but man, when you have like I had my parents living below, you put that in, then you put the drop ceiling, you don't hear anything. It's unbelievable sound deadening, and it's also an extreme fire retardant because it's rock wool. So if you can afford it, do it right, do it the right way, and it makes it much nicer, much quieter too. Especially if you've got like here, you'll have a lot of your septic lines and everything coming down the plumbing, so you can quiet all that up with the Roxul insulation. Try to think about everything that you're doing. Jim Rector is in the house. And I hate to say it, I was only planning on doing a half-hour show tonight. Yeah, 11 years ago, he did a basement for 17,000. Now it would be about 40,000. I believe it. I mean, I just see when I'm doing these roofs how much it costs me now, because I tried to get a lot of them in there when we were going through this real estate crash. People were starving, and the prices for doing roofs and everything was really inexpensive, but they've jacked it up. In fact, I had a guy the other day. I've been using him for years for pressure washing my houses, where he comes in like every couple of years, he'll pressure wash the house, he'll do the decks, the walkways and everything. Used to be about $200, maybe $250, depending on the amount of work they had done. He was over $400 this time. And that was just from 2 years ago. So a lot of this stuff I'm probably just going to end up doing myself because it's just too much. And it's just time. I just got to go out there and spend time, a couple hours every day, get stuff done like I do here. And you pressure washing, you go over there and spend 3 or 4 hours, he's making $100 an hour. That's a lot of money. Yeah, I kind of figured you meant you were doing it 11 years ago, not when you were 11 years age. Let me go see what the premiums are for the metals. Ooh, it's hot. Humidity's high. All right, so the platinum is 19 to 23% premium, and you're going to pay anywhere from $1,440 to $1,492 for American Platinum Eagles. Let's go to silver. Okay, here's random year. Dang, silver's still like 34% premiums all the way up to 40% premiums. So you're going to spend anywhere from 35 bucks to 36.57 for silver. Now, some of these where they're lower premiums, that may mean that you got to wait a couple of weeks to get your delivery. So you'd have to look at that closer. And I use this thing called findbullionprices.com. Should probably advertise that because you'll find that's really the way to go. I'm looking for 1 ounce gold eagles now. Random year. There it is. I wish they'd put these things in a certain order. So we're at 7.78% premium for gold, and that's 1922 to 1966 for these random year gold eagles. That's pretty good price for. It's about double on normal times because I was buying gold at 3.5% premium, so they've doubled the premium, but that's way less than the silver and platinum. Yeah, silver gold bull is actually one of them that'll show up on here, but I haven't done the comparison in a while of the purchase stuff. Sometimes these companies will have much lower pricing, but you're going to end up paying for shipping. So I usually go with the folks that have the free shipping if possible. So Silverliner lost a shock and can't find it anywhere. Have you tried any junkyards or anything? See if you can get one. Yeah, these prices are just seem astronomical. Let me look at that silver again. I mean, you're paying $9 to $10 to $11 premium for silver right now. That is a lot of money, folks. But if you went and bought if you got some more than a few bucks laying around, if you go buy the bars, the good delivery bars, you buy them basically as close to spot as you can. Oh, it's a brand new truck and you blew a shock. What a pain in the butt. I know you're talking about a big semi type truck, but I was buying, what was the name of them? Ranchos. Whenever my shocks, it was time to change shocks, which is getting close on my pickup truck. I was switching to Ranchos. I really liked the Ranchos because, especially on the rear, they were adjustable. They had a little knob that you can adjust. I don't know if we're going to see another metal dip. It looks like this is going to be a breakout, and we'll see how far it goes. I mean, it usually will go up quite a ways. It'll overdo it, and you'll see a correction. But I'm hoping we get back into the channel again. I mean, the infrastructure spending, everything they're doing is incredible. Amount of money that they're going to be printing. I'm going to be releasing a video in the next couple days. I'm going to start doing a few video games because there's a couple that always had kind of interested me, and I've literally gone through, a couple thousand levels on some of these. And there's one in particular called Bazooka Boy. It's a cute game, but to me, it's a little bit of an engineering side where you're trying to knock down these structures with as few shots as possible and not blow yourself up. And I've actually recorded some of my sessions, and I explain why I'm doing what I'm doing and how it works, because I've literally tried every possible way to do this and be as effective as possible. But I think you'll enjoy that video, because I'm probably going to do a video of my worst disasters, getting myself killed too. But right now I'm going to show you how to beat the game. And it's just kind of a fun little game. I don't know if you have any of the, it's just a phone game, you just play it on your phone. So it's like whenever I have an hour to kill waiting at a doctor's office or something, I'll pull that game up and play it. And sometimes, like in the morning, I'm the freshest and I do the best. I've tried to play the thing late at night. Like right now, I'm tired and it's a disaster trying to play that thing. So it gets too frustrating. So Silverliner bought 2 1/4 ounce commemorative coins 2 weeks ago for $440. Nice. Hopefully they were more modern coins where they weren't this 90% gold stuff. Well, I think I'm going to shut it down. I wanted to just get on here quick. Yeah, I think as this Bitcoin gets up, you're going to have more governments targeting that thing and trying to knock it back down. So we'll see what happens, but they don't like competition. So you're not going to, governments are not going to allow competition to their currency. So we'll see. But that's always my thought. Just, think of it as a little speculation if you want to throw a little money out there. Some people I know have done that, but I saw Dogecoin that somebody's already made like $15 billion or something on Dogecoin. All right, so I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Do the best you can. God bless.